Hey, this is Mimi and Adam with 4 Premier Properties. We are coming to you from our new building location here at 605 North Llano. We are happy to be here. It's so beautiful. I hope you come by and see us and take a tour. It's absolutely gorgeous right here on Llano Highway. So we are here to talk to you about the first quarter market report data. And just to kind of give you an update on what's been going on since Christmas to where we are today. Let's start. Come January and February, it seemed like the market was starting to get its footing. February was a really good month. Closed sales were up 60% in town Fredericksburg. So things were really moving and happening. And then come March, it seemed to sort of slow down with the war starting. There's a lot of uncertainty that brought into place, and a whole lot of buyers and sellers were just kind of, they kind of just stayed put, and that's kind of where we are today. So Mimi, what do you think about the market?
Well, I think that there are probably 3 factors that have caused the decline and the slowdown. One, of course, is the war and the effect that the war has had on gas prices, everybody nationwide. And then, of course, the interest rate that was below 6% in February is now pushing 7% again. And so I think those factors have played into our market that we're experiencing here in Fredericksburg. It's unfortunate because I thought we're really off to a great February. The grass was turning green, the leaves were getting on the trees, the market was picking up, and then we've had this slowdown. But since the ceasefire agreement has been signed and in place, we've really been busy the last couple of weeks, us personally, and we've escrowed, I think, 3 or 4 contracts in the last couple of weeks. So what about the Fredericksburg market exactly in the first quarter?
Yeah, and I could touch into what Mimi said is, yeah, we've been really busy, a lot of phone calls, a lot of people wanting to list, a lot of people wanting to look at houses. But as far as contracts, actual contracts being escrowed, things have slowed down on that. I don't really know other than just maybe the war, but it has slowed down. The first quarter, the closed sales are down for the first 3 months, down 8.8%. The months of inventory, we were at 8.2 months of inventory for the first quarter. So it would take 8 months to sell what we already have in inventory today. So that's quite a lot. The median price is up 14% though. So $462,000 is the active list price for Fredericksburg. So that's increased, but closed sales have decreased. And so the days on market is about 133 days to sell your property on average. That's about 4 months, 5 months.
And those are for in-town Fredericksburg sales, and anybody that lives in the city limits.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so that 8% or 8 months of inventory has been very consistent this whole year. Has really remained unchanged. And I think part of that is because of the increase in inventory that we have. But when we look at rural residential, which means homes on acreage in Fredericksburg with the Fredericksburg address. It's out of town, but it has a Fredericksburg address. In 2025, there were 19 closings in the first quarter of 25. And then in the first quarter of 2026, there have been 26 closings. And so that produces an increase of 27% in that particular market segment in the first quarter. So that's promising. The average price in those homes was $1,500,000. And a lot of that value is in the land. It's not just the home site, because the land can vary from 5 acres to 50 acres to 100 acres. So we are seeing an increase in the sales in rural residential, which is positive.
And the location of the land varies price per acre as well. 290 East price per acre is a lot more than 290 West, for example.
Correct. Yeah. So, and then when we look at Gillespie County undeveloped, so farm and ranch, rural subdivision properties, today there are 273 properties for sale in Gillespie County. and 19 properties sold during the first quarter. So there is years of inventory to be sold in the rural residential.
Yeah, you can attribute that to, is the price too high? Is macroeconomic issues like the war causing people to just have more uncertainty, higher borrowing cost? It could be a mix of all of them. So.
Yeah, and when you look at those 19 sales, the lowest was $150,000, which was for a small piece of property, and then the largest sale was over $4.5 million, and that was a ranch sale. No improvements on it, strictly ranch, but it did have beautiful live water on it. So what about the report that we get from 4 Premier Properties weekly that shows the months of inventory?
Sure. Yeah, the active market, this thing? I'm sorry.
Yes, this one.
The market report for Fredericksburg just came out on April 12th. And it kind of breaks it down into 100,000 increments from 200 to 300, 300 to 400, like that, all the way to 1.5 million. And it kind of gives a color code indicator on if it's a buyer's market or seller's market, depending on what price that is at, if that makes any sense. And so what we've seen, the majority of the higher prices are still a buyer's market, meaning there's more inventory for buyers to have a higher selection of properties to choose from. The lower priced properties from 200 to 500, there is less inventory, so sellers kind of have, the ball on that one.
So what does that mean for sellers? We've talked about it being a buyer's market, but what does that really mean when we're talking to our sellers and trying to give them some direction and some advice on pricing?
Yeah, so what that means is there's more inventory in a certain price per square foot, listing price. And so what is important is to make sure that you price your property correctly, because the first 2 to 3 weeks, it's vitally important that it's priced correct. Otherwise, it's going to sit on the market and it won't get necessarily the clicks or whatever, because it'll be on the market for so long.
On those higher end properties, those that are 1.5 million and over, there is 18 months of inventory there, if nothing else came on the market. So it would take 18 months to absorb those properties. And I think sellers need to keep that in mind as we're listing their properties of, oh gosh, we're in this category and there's this many months of inventory. It definitely plays into pricing whenever we're looking to do that. The first 2 weeks of the listing time is the magic time, and we need to get the price right the first time. We don't want to be what I call chasing the market all the time, getting price reduction after price reduction after price reduction, because all that says is you got the price wrong the first time. And so if we'll look at market data and use that data to correctly position a property coming in as new inventory, I think we'll be more successful, or sellers would be more successful in procuring the buyer quickly and being able to move on and do what it is that they're wanting to do.
I agree. We like to list our properties very close to where we think they're going to sell. There's no reason to overprice something. We use the data for that reason, and that's our job.
Let's talk about the inventory overall in Fredericksburg. In-town residential, how many properties are for sale today?
So in-town residential properties, there's 342 homes on the market right now in Fredericksburg, Texas. In the past 6 months, 165 of those have closed with 136 days on the market.
136 days on the market is pretty good in this real estate market that we're experiencing right now.
Mm-hmm. And so for luxury homes, though, anything over 1 million, there is only 138 of those active listings, and 43 have sold in the past 6 months. So not that many, in my opinion.
So if you have additional questions about the real estate market, or you would like for Adam and me to come out and give you a complimentary assessment of your property, we would be happy to do that. Or if you'd just like to stop by and see our new office at 605 North Llano, please do so. You can find more information at our website, which is
AdamCcarroll.com.
Thank you.